everybody, and welcome back to the podcast.
The podcast, yeah.
The Grandparents Podcast.
Woo!
Sorry,
it's exciting.
I
It's
know.
exciting.
Get hyped.
It's an amazing day.
We've got some interesting things to chat about today, but to start things off, we will talk about ourselves, because why would we not talk about ourselves? Kano?
Yes, because we're...
What's been going on with you?
What's been going on with me? Let's see. I guess the biggest thing that just happened yesterday, which I was very excited about, and I'll talk about it a little bit with some people, but I went to go see Allie and AJ in concert with my sister and my mom. It was sort of because we went to London for my sister's graduation. That was my dad and his wife's gift. But I was like, I want something that's like for us, because at the time I was kind of feeling petty, and I was like, this trip to London's nice, but my sister really is like, she's excited for it, but it was like at a really inconvenient time. So I was like, let's do something that's at a less inconvenient time, that's something we enjoy, that's like for us. And so we got tickets to go see Allie and AJ because they were at a nearby theater, like about 40 minutes drive away from where I live. A nice small theater, surprisingly. I was like expecting it to be a pretty big venue, and it was like fairly big, but it was like the kind of theater I'd go to like for shows when I was in theater as a kid, like with my theater group. Like it was sort of that style theater. But it was so cool. It was so fun. All of my videos that I recorded of me at the concert are like half ruined, half not, because in every single one of them I'm singing louder than you can hear Allie and AJ, and with the lyrics and everything. Like legitimately, like I can hear them.
That checks out.
Vaguely underneath me singing over them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I wish maybe I could have sung a little quieter during the concert. I was just really into it, and I knew all the words because they were doing a special concert where they did all the songs from their newest album and all the songs from their first album, which they've never done. So it's very cool. They're going to be in I think they said this is like their 20th anniversary of singing together. And in 2 years, it's the 20th anniversary of their first album, Into the Rush, being released. Which is crazy.
They're sisters,
think about,
right? Or are they just...
Yes, they're sisters.
Okay.
They're 2 years apart, just like me and my sister. They're older, but it's one of those like really cool things. So it was just fun. It was fun to get to go with my sister, and we could like go listen to Allie and AJ and celebrate and enjoy each other's company and have time. So that was a really nice highlight. I really am glad I got the chance to do that with her, and it was very fun. I got a cool poster that I didn't even realize. I bought this poster for $50, being like, "Ooh, it's a poster." And then we get in there, my mom's like, "Did you realize that they signed it?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't know they signed it." And I was like, it was so cool. So I'm like, I have their signatures on a poster in my room right now, and I would have paid for the poster for $50 without even the signatures. So I was like, oh man, this is a bonus. This feels extra worth it now.
That's funny.
So that was like a very nice highlight. Otherwise, it's been mostly just work. It's been pretty mundane, average stuff. Got to go see Into the Spider-Verse this last weekend, so I'm finally caught up on that trend.
Same.
To do with that. Like, I know what it is now. Oh my goodness, yes. All y'all, Mousie, the day we got together on Monday to start work up again, we had probably like a nice 15-minute conversation with the voice actors for whom we work with about Spider-Man and all the theories that every one of them had, because they all had thoughts about it. All of them did. And then
Miguel's ass is gonna save the world.
Oh my goodness, it was just really funny because like when our friend Luke joined into the call after, because he was also there for working, he was running a little bit later. Like everyone just stops talking about it because they're like, "Has he seen it yet? Do you want?"
Yeah, because you don't want to be.
I know it was just hilarious. So like everyone just stopped talking.
We were flinging theories around, being like, "What's this?" and blah blah blah. And I was trying to get like mine super quick because Luke was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be there." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." So he'll be like 5 minutes, maybe max. So I'm like, I gotta get my theory out in case he hasn't seen it. I'll repeat it if he has. Like, that's fine. But like, I just wanted to like be respectful and not spoil it because it is really new.
Yes.
So yeah.
But yeah, so gonna see that, and then otherwise I've just been getting back into work, and it was kind of funny. I guess the only other thing that really happened of any significance is that, because Gabe was on vacation, I messaged him literally every day while he was gone, because he was nice and he sent me pictures.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And so I felt really special. And then when he got back to regular work, I was like, oh, I don't get to have a message from Gabe every day anymore.
Yeah.
Where? So I mean,
You know
I could
what's really
message him,
funny?
but then I have to be more proactive. Yeah.
He told me about how he sent you a bunch of like pictures, and it was like of his family or like them hiking or like sunsets and stuff like that. And you go to him and you go, "Did you have any of like you with your family, like or like you at these like locations, like selfies or whatever?" And he go like to me, he goes, "Why would I do that? Doesn't he know I have self-confidence issues or like self-loathing issues or something like that?" And I was like, I get where he's coming from, but I just thought that was really funny that you were like, "Do you have any pictures of you with at these places?" And he was like, "No."
Yep. Quite literally. I think that's exactly what he said. What did he actually say? I can totally say.
Yes.
I think
Leak
it said,
the DMs.
oh yeah, literally it was ooh looks. He said found some funky water thing because it was at the waterfalls.
Yeah.
And I just said, ooh, it looks so cool. Any selfies of you having fun? And then what he proceeds to tell me is, I don't take selfies, Kano. I'm always where I am. The places are not. I am unnecessary in images. It would simply take up space that we better utilize capturing the environment. Anyway, and then just proceeded onward at that point in time. That's his answer. That was his response to me. I think it's funny how he tells you.
He dumbed it so down for me.
And then over here,
I'm offended. Does he think I'm stupid? I couldn't comprehend his sentence?
No, I'm sure it's probably exactly what it is. I just think his reasoning, he like did this like really logicked out for you, and then he gave you like his heartfelt response too. So it's okay. We know who's the logical parent in this relationship and who's the emotional one. Apparently.
Me, I'm always emotional. Smile.
Anyways, you're welcome, Gabe. If you promise me licking your DMs, then I'll hear about it next week.
Yeah, that's
because I heard about from this week about when I talked about the fact that we were like, what was the exposure therapy?
Yeah.
When we mentioned that, I get a random message out of the blue from Gabe being like, "You are not using exposure therapy," and I was like, "Wait, Gabe wasn't part of that conversation. Where'd that happen?" And I was like, "Oh, we said it in the podcast."
That's so funny because he actually was sending me different messages when he was listening to the podcast. I think that's hilarious. Let me try and find it. I'm also leaking our DMs.
So happens with this, guys. We leak your DMs on a podcast.
Yeah.
That only you probably listen to.
Very true. He messages me and goes, "Me when the Grandparents Pod episode is out." Proceeded to not follow up with anything for about 10 minutes. And then he sends me a Reddit thread, not even a picture, like the thread that it was posted on, and goes, "Me when I see a cabbage, parentheses, I fucking love cabbage." And it's just a Chihuahua Corgi mix, like devouring cabbage on a coffee table. And I was like, okay, this is so random. And then he goes, Rotom Heat Form is a fire and electric Pokemon. Random. And then he goes, "Also, you didn't tweet the image of Minun and Vulpix fusion." And I said, "I put it in the video." And then I said, "There," as I tweeted it. And he goes, "Pog pog. Oh my god, Genshin Impact, my favorite video game of all time. I love the game and all the characters and their voice lines." I was just getting like updates every so often of like the podcast. So that's really funny that he went to you about the exposure therapy thing and not
because I'm the one who said it.
Well, no, I know, but like I didn't do the game. I didn't do the Genshin game, but he was like, "Oh my god, yes." I just thought it was funny that he's sending us different things.
And no, now that we're saying this, Gabe's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna message them about this anymore ever. I'm never gonna DM them anything because they're just gonna leak the information. Then now they're gonna be crying and
he's gonna
like,
message us.
Talk to us anymore.
He's gonna message us that message of not messaging us ever again when it comes to the podcast.
But now that we're mentioning it now, he's gonna say it doubly so.
Yeah, he's gonna say it to both of us.
I'm actually sending this. He's gonna have to find some really. Gabe, your new challenge. Actually, no. We'll say it this way. Gabe, think of the most unoriginal way to say that. This means he can think of a creative way to say it.
And then he still has to message us. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, we love you, Gabe. We call you out a lot because we know you listen to this podcast.
Yes.
So that's legit the only reason why we do it. I could call
and you
other people, but I
updated
don't know if
us
they listen to the
on it.
podcast.
Yeah, like everybody
Yeah,
else is just like
exactly.
casually listening, and like sometimes people comment on it, but like, not as often as Gabe does. Like every
Yes.
episode, Gabe is like talking to us about like what happened in it. So
Exactly. Here's another shout out for another friend of ours, Rachel. If you've caught up to this point in the podcast, whenever you're at watching this episode or listening to it, hi. Because I know you said you were behind the last we talked, and that's okay.
We love you.
You don't care. We love you too. We love all our friends. They're great.
We do.
And we love each other too.
Yesterday? I think.
No, what?
What's today?
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just like, I was kind of sort of segueing. I was just going to say that I like hung out with Lauren yesterday, and it was really funny because we finished season 3 of Demon Slayer, and we were both just like sobbing, like, because they did a twist. They what's it called? They threw you for a loop. And we were crying because we thought something had happened. And then we were happy because it didn't happen, and we were like, yay! But yeah, I don't know. I got to spend that time with Lauren and hang out with her, and it was really nice. That's all I was.
That is pretty awesome.
Trying to say.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand now.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
And it was Rob's birthday yesterday. Thank you to everybody who wished her a happy birthday. Obviously it's a week ago now when you're listening to this. But I do appreciate anyone who said happy birthday to her because she deserves it. 100%. I love her very much. It's really funny. We got this thing on our phones. I think I talked about it. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but we have this thing on our phone that we can send messages to each other now. And it pops up on our home screen, but it's not like a text message. Like you can send like hearts, you can send gifts, you can send like interactions and like updates. So like you can send like hugs and like kisses and all that stuff. And then you can also send messages. And the most recent message that Rob has on there that she hasn't updated. So the last couple have been like hugs and like misses and stuff like that. But on the 25th, she puts, "You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love, love, love you." And I was like, oh my God. Oh, like, that's so cute. It's from Pride and Prejudice, if many of y'all know. Yeah. When he's like confessing his love to her, and he's like, "You have bewitched me, body and soul, and I love you." It's very dramatic.
Yes. That's excellent. Speaking of dramatic, Mousie. How was your week?
Oh, it was very busy actually. I didn't edit I didn't edit the podcast until Tuesday, so the day before it was supposed to go out. And then I uploaded it, but then I had like a recording, and then I had to edit, and I like had all this stuff, and then I streamed, which was really nice because what did I play? I played Genshin. I got through one of the events, which was nice because I can get primos from it. And then I also saw Spider-Verse on the weekend, and then I got to hang out with Lauren twice this week. Rachel, Seth, and I have been watching Dimensions 20: A Crown of Candy together. So we do that on Monday nights. And it's been really nice. And like I said, Lauren and I finished Demon Slayer, so now I don't know what we're gonna watch on Wednesdays anymore. And then since last week, nothing too much other than like chores and stuff. I did go and pick up cat food yesterday. Oh, a little tangent here. I went and picked up cat food. Very expensive, like $190 for like fucking, I don't know. I can't math. 3 cases of 24. What is 24 times 3 is 72? 72 cans of cat food because Salem goes through a can a day. So that'll last me about a month and a half. And then Caramel goes through a third of a can a day. Or sorry, he goes through 2/3 of a can a day. So his lasts a little bit longer. His are bigger cans.
He's got them big cans.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why it just doesn't, like, Salem's food doesn't come in a bigger can. Maybe because it's, like, different, like, Caramel's is a pate, and Salem's is, like, a gravy, I think. I don't fucking know. Regardless, unimportant. The important thing is that what I am assuming new veterinarian at the place that I go to, I don't know what kind of genes this man had, but he was beautiful.
The best genes? Like, he had the best denim?
No, like DNA. But
like Nancy just saw, speaking of Spider-Man butt, this guy just had the best genes.
Miguel has a really nice bum. But no, I go in there, and normally there's two girls that, like, I usually quote unquote deal with. No, it's not a negative connotation. They're the receptionist. And I interact with them all the time. Like, the one girl, like, I'm always asking, like, advice and pricing and all that stuff, and she's really, really helpful, and she's really nice. And so I went in, and she was there, but she was on the phone with someone. And then there was another person who I think is a veterinary assistant, and then there was a gentleman there. And he looked younger. I don't think he was much older than, like, I think he was around, like, my, like our age, or, like, maybe, like, latest, like, 31, 32. And I think he was being trained on, like, their system, but he seemed like, I don't know, newbie-ish when it came to that stuff. But he was like, I was just picking up food, so I was like, oh, I'm just here to pick up food to set aside, yada yada, it was for this person. And then, like, one of the person was helping, and then I asked a question afterwards. But, like, I had to try and, like, stop myself from staring at him. He was beautiful. I don't know, I was just in awe. I was like, you are gorgeous. What are you doing here?
Wanna be my doctor?
Want to come over and do a house call for my cats?
Oh, wait,
I'm not going to say the other word
right now.
my one cat is here.
SMH.
I'm kidding.
Naughty.
I'm sorry. It's all in jokes, but yeah. I just thought that was funny that I was like, yeah, watch Demon Slayer. Okay, I gotta go run and do some errands. And then I get there and I'm like, oh my god, this man, hello? And then I had to leave, and it was sad.
You're like, I'll see you later.
I'll see you in a month or two. You're still working here.
We're still working here.
For an energy. Hi, do you want to, like, get out of here?
And he's just like, I'm working at your cat spam.
Yeah.
Doing, like, their checkups.
Can you
and
not?
I'm like, well, you can check me up.
Yeah. You can check me out. I don't know. He could be, like, younger than me, so that might be a little sussy, actually.
True.
Who knows?
Imagine we're getting to that age now where that's a possibility.
I know. God. Ugh, I hate it. I hate that I'm like, yeah, like, oh, I find someone attractive, and they're, like, younger, and it's like, well, be careful, because you could be considered grooming them, and it's like, well, okay, fine, I just won't think they're, like, pretty. My bad.
Yes.
Yeah, you never know, like, you never know nowadays, because, like, I don't know, people don't always look their age or act their age. So I don't know. I don't want to be at a point in my life where, like, I can't go out to, like, a club and have a good time because I'm too old. But, like, it's my music, like, it's my generation's music, or, like, the generation above ours. And it's like,
yes,
it's like, I grew up on this music. Why am I not allowed to be here and listen to it and have a good time? Why am I the oldie? Right. Why am I the one that's, like, being creepy or something like that, or coming across creepy because I'm, like, getting drunk in a club that's for younger people? And it's like, well, what? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. But speaking of groomers,
I was like, that's a great segue for what we're about to talk about today.
Yeah, it was great. one confirmed, one accused.
Mm-hmm.
Two. We got two doubling up on the groomers today.
No.
So I don't know if you guys saw. I feel like you guys did. It's pretty fresh because I'm pretty sure it came out today or yesterday on the time of recording. Yesterday. Colleen Manager posted a video. Not really taking accountability or even apologizing for any actions that she's done over the last couple of years. Which, if you guys are not in the loop, there was some questionable stage acts when she was on tour with fans. There was private messaging, there was group DMs with fans, and like things that the word parasocial is built on.
Mm-hmm.
And in the apology, I'm going to use apology very loosely. It's not actually. I'm sure she meant it to be. The funniest part is that at the beginning, she goes and says, I want to talk about my team has advised me not to talk about the things that I want to say. So instead I'm going to sing it, and then proceeds to just strum a C chord for like the entirety of this 10-minute long video.
Yes.
Half of it where she is just talking. She's not actually singing. There's just music in the background. And a lot of people are obviously memeing it because like it's such a long like video, and no accountability was taken at all. It was all chalked up, like a TLDR, it was all chalked up to being, I was younger. And it's like, ma'am, you were in your 30s still. You were like late again, like around like older than us, but like late 20s, early 30s, talking to like 15-year-olds. And like you're in like a group chat with them, like I said, in like a DM. And I'll link someone. There's a girl that talked about it recently. I believe they're a girl. I might want to double check that. But I'll link their profile because they came out and started talking about how like uncomfortable they felt at one of the shows, which apparently there was a porn skit. I've never watched one of Miranda's
I have not
or Miranda Colleen's shows, but apparently it was like she brings someone up who's dressed like lighter, and then she'll bring someone up who's dressed like heavier. So it could be like a tank top and shorts, it could be like a short dress, something like that, and then the like more modest person would have like pants and like a sweater on or something like that. And then they would proceed as a joke, make fun of the person who is dressing more quote unquote skimpy-ish or like scandalous, and would be like, oh, it's like, this is porn and da da da. I don't know. Like, it was just a stupid situation. But this one girl, she talks about it. She went up on stage and she dressed in a shorter dress because she wanted to get called up on stage to do that skit because she knew the skit and she knew it was a joke and blah 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 blah. And they were a fan, so like they wanted to go up on stage with someone that they like admired or thought that was funny. But apparently it ended up being a yoga skit where the person was in some very precarious and interesting positions. Luckily, they were wearing shorts underneath. But they went on to talk about in one of their videos, explaining how they felt that, like, they didn't realize, and they just felt kind of weird afterwards. And then when they were walking back to their car in the parking lot with, like, their parents or whatever, like, apparently a bunch of, like, men were, like, staring at them. Or, like, older, like, I don't know if it was men, like 40-year-old men, but, like, older people of the male variety. Were, like, they were getting unwanted attention after that. And I feel really bad, especially after this apology video, because like nothing was actually apologized for or taken accountability. And then another person, I don't have any of the receipts, so I do apologize. I forgot to mention that I do want to say, like, I will put as much information as I can in the description as I normally do. Some of the things I've heard through other TikToks or through Twitter, so it's not always a reliable source. So I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Unlike Colleen, I'll take accountability for my actions, and if I'm wrong in spreading misinformation, and I would like to apologize to anyone if I am spreading misinformation. But we were just chit-chatting, and we're just talking about things that we've come across. One of those things was there was a gentleman, I don't remember, I think it was again, I don't know if their pronouns. I'm sorry if I'm not using the right pronouns. And I think their name was like Alex or Adam. But they had, the reason why this all started was like a month ago, they had come forward finally about, and I say finally as in like they were finally ready, not, oh, finally they did it. It's they were finally ready to come forward with it. And like showing private messages and stuff like that of just like uncomfortable conversations had between Colleen and this person. So it's just like, those are the two main accounts. Obviously there's a bunch of other things. Like I'm pretty sure someone a long time ago, like a year or two ago, I think I remember, again, not 100% sure, I remember seeing something where a person had come forward and started talking about how when Colleen was first pregnant with her first kid, with Flynn, I think his name is, they went to a convention, and at that time they had started to show a little bit, and apparently, I don't know how true this is, the person had noticed and was like, oh my god, like, are you pregnant? And apparently they, like, Colleen, like, grabbed this person and was just like loosely but kind of not threatened her to not say anything. I think she, like, I think Colleen grabbed her like on the arm or like held her tight like to her or something like that and was like, don't tell anybody, kind of thing. Or it'll be like bad news for you or like whatever. I don't remember. I remember seeing that like a 2 years ago, and I'm surprised that they didn't say anything before. And I think it's really funny as well that like a lot of people, again, memeing that Colleen was like, oh, my team has advised me not to say things. And then people are like, what team? You have a team? Since when? Oof. And I was like, ooh. And a couple like of our friends also are like, what was it?
Some of my friends had some choice words for Colleen.
Yeah. The one that was funny, though, that I want to talk about, or that I wanted to find, was Taylor Swift All Too Well 10-minute version could never. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. That was... It's very interesting that this is all coming forward, and instead of either not talking about it or in like letting it blow over, they decided to make a 10-minute song. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say
I never watched Colleen. Or like I did. I watched her vlogs, but that was about it.
Yeah, I was familiar enough with Colleen. I didn't watch her a lot. My sister actually probably knows more about her than I would. And it followed
Get your sister on here. Get her on the podcast.
I don't think she'd be available right now. She had a big interview today, which I should probably remember to text her about to see how it went. But I mean, I watched the apology video, and it's one of those interesting things where you can definitely tell it's a very self-oriented thing. Because it comes across a lot more. It's like how it's kind of like, how dare you guys come here? Well, no. Let me choose my words carefully. It wasn't. It didn't seem like it was very attacky, but it felt very much like it's like, I'm here to share my feelings about how this makes me feel, and I feel like all of you on the internet, this is just part of a greater problem of. She called it the toxic gossip train, I think was the name of her little song that she made. It's like, well, yes, I can certainly agree with the points you're making in your song about, yes, people will take things a little too far and they will tear someone down completely until they have nothing left to be around for. I do agree that like the internet is a place where someone can make a mistake and people want to kill them for the decision they made.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that can be a bit extreme, but it was the idea of like she very generally takes accountability for things, saying it's like these are all things that like she never mentions anyone in particular in person or any particular situations. She just proceeds to kind of go about it, and then part of her song is all about how it's like, oh, you're not gonna really care what I have to say anyway because you've already made your mind about how you feel about me, which feels very like self-victimy.
Yeah.
Like and this is, maybe I'm comparing this a different way, but like recently there was, because I watch a lot of Lauren Z Side on
I
YouTube.
love Lauren.
She's become one of my favorite content creators, like partially because of the fact that she comes from the Minecraft community a little bit. So like that side of things, and then she's kind of branched off and done her own thing now. And like Bobby's really cool, and like I always thought was really cool because like my friend, well, more like work acquaintance. She's someone who I wish I got to know better, but Sheridette, who I used to do some Full Front stuff with Gizzy. She knows Lauren, is close friends with her. And so like I always had a lot of respect for her, but there is recently something that had come out about like a former employee of hers who had made some accusations about her, and her approach about it was very, very different. She's very much like, I'm going to specifically approach this particular person. I'm going to talk with them about this. I'm going to, talk really only about this particular accusation and provide the evidence that I have to counter that. And it felt very much like, oh, like she's like, it was one of those things where, at least from her standpoint, she's very much like, this person was trying to make me look bad, but I have complete evidence and support from other people who work with me about this situation, about this. And she wasn't afraid to like counteract with what she knew to be true. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, and that blew over because she addressed the issue. I mean, to be fair, in that particular case, in this instance, I don't think she really had anything to worry about. It was someone who, had kind of almost deliberately tried to make her look bad, and she's like, maybe you had a different conception of what I thought was our relationship, but here's what it really was from my standpoint. And there's a lot of like misunderstandings involved that were effectively, in my opinion, cleared up. Whereas with Colleen, it seems very much like, I don't know if she's ever done anything to make any reparations for what she's done.
I
Instead,
don't
just kind
think
of,
so. Yeah.
instead she's just kind of coined it to like, oh, this is the internet where everyone hates people. So you're just gonna think whatever you want, regardless of what I say. Here, let me correct you on the fact that humans can make mistakes. It's like, no, duh. I mean, some people I do think have a bit of a complex about thinking it's like, you can do something wrong and then you'll be effectively like blacklisted forever. But I know from previous experiences in my life, and I can name some people that I know Mousie would even think of if I say this in my head. There's people we've worked with that we've had to blacklist before. But at the same time, those were never done with the intention of, we want to see this person suffer. It was always very much like, no, sorry, you made a choice that we don't agree with, therefore we're parting ways, and we're separating ourselves from the situation.
And it's unfortunate that like our content and our communities are also like at risk if we continue to have a relationship. So
right.
Because like people can make mistakes and you cannot agree with them and you can stop talking to them, but like to blacklist them and cut them off and like never want to like work with them again as well is like obviously a step up, and it takes a lot more of consideration and a lot more to worry and think about when it comes to, because like if your friend does something bad, you just stop being friends with them and you're like, oh well, I don't have to talk to this person as often. But like when you work with them, it's like, okay, it's not just our friendship that was at jeopardy. You're now putting all these other people at risk of your choices. And by me having you still in my life, I'm putting people I care about at risk of your actions. But continue. Sorry.
Yeah. But so I think it's one of those things where, again, it's a different situation with Colleen. And she made choices, and she's only really partially taking accountability for it. And ultimately, again, we're people who are very outside the situation regardless. So what real validity do we have to even speak in this issue on her particular, problem? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the situation. We're not people who are personally victims of anything that they experienced with any of the things she's done. And vice versa. Like, we're not people who have been in that situation where we've been having to deal with people who have done that. We're just as capable. We're all humans, so we all have the choice of being like that. But what you do choose to do after that is something you can have an effect over.
Mm-hmm.
And her response was to quote unquote make a song talking about how she's upset about the toxic internet and how it can ruin people's lives.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, you're not wrong, but you're also not right.
Yeah, you're stating a fact that everyone knew. What we're looking for is the facts we don't have and we don't know right now.
Right.
Like you're saying about like Lauren, like she didn't seem very affected by it because she knew the truth and she knew that she wasn't in the wrong and that. But if Colleen knows that she's not in the wrong, why is she not? Like, I mean, people can approach situations differently. Yeah, but it's like, why are you like beating around the bush instead of just being like, here are the receipts. I didn't do that. Because like, do you have something to hide? Like, I don't know. Like, Jenna Marbles is another example that I saw coming up a lot when like this situation of like Jenna did like a bad thing, like she was racist and sexist and that in her content 10 years ago, might I add you.
Yes.
And a lot of the videos that she had done, she had taken down because of that stuff, like that angle of it. And she was not proud of that content either. But obviously things like Resurgent, and instead of, she not only made an apology and made it genuine of that she was sorry for the content that she made and to take responsibility of it. She was stepping away from content creation as a whole.
Right.
Because despite the content that she was currently making today, which was literally like dressing her dogs up in like cute little outfits or like making like stupid makeup videos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all those changes, people were still not going to be happy. Like, she could not continue to make content knowing that like that was her past on the internet and that people would never get past that. And to get like death threats and all that stuff, like she just stepped away from it. Like, if I could have Jenna Marbles back and you could take all of their YouTubers, I'd be cool with that. Take all the other shitty YouTubers. You can have Colleen, you can have Dream, you can have like literally fucking anybody you want.
Dream? Yeah, Dream?
Yeah, Dream?
Is that a segue?
Who's that? Who's Dream?
Is that a segue call out?
I don't.
Oh, right, good point. You know, because he at one point had his face shown.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know who he is because he redacted himself.
Yeah, he redacted himself on the internet. You can quite literally go to a different YouTube channel and see, look at this.
Wow, boom, there he is.
Sorry, I didn't do super crazy here, but I was like, this is a really clever segue because technically speaking, we do have our other accused groomer on the plate who recently has thought that, wow, you know what I should do? I have face revealed myself on the internet for so long. And people said some mean things about me. So I'm going to take my face reveal off the internet.
I'm going to take it
back. Go back to being faceless.
Yeah.
And
and make a music video.
Everyone's going to forget about me. Yeah. A really cringe music video.
It's so weird. Like, he wasn't a good guy. And I say wasn't as if he's changed. He has not. He's not a good guy. And it came out that he was not a good guy. And everyone was like, oh my God, but he could be so hot. And like, that just like nullifies all the bad things that he's done. All the racist slurs and homophobic things that he said about people. Like, and this is the thing. This was like 2 years ago. Or like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, or like two years prior to all this information coming out. So it was like maybe 3 now. Jenna's stuff was a decade ago. And she was still getting flack for it. Which is, I agree that people can change. And Jenna showed that in a decade's worth of content that she has changed and moved on from that and like that kind of thing. And she's removed that content. Dream, however, is just like, ooh, famous, getting like 30 million views on my manhunts. Stopped doing manhunts. did a face reveal because he had no content. And he was going to a convention, and he wanted to face reveal before he went to the convention. Got absolutely destroyed, roasted beyond belief. The man is burnt at this point. And then now the videos on his channel maybe get about like not even 5 million. I think they get like maybe a million to 5 million. And he was pulling in 30 million views before. So he makes a video with this weird skit in it, this weird dramatic skit of him taking back his face reveal and putting the mask back on, with his friends bullying him in it, by the way. So I don't know if that was like an ode to the bully. I don't know. It was weird. And then promised to start making Manhunt content again. So he literally is trying to like Uno reverse the situation of him face revealing and it tanking his channel. So I think that's very I just we talked about it the other day. This happened like a couple weeks ago, but Kano was on vacation. But when he came back, we were talking about it, and we'll mention it every so often, and we think it's so funny. Like, it's so funny. So we just wanted to talk about it today. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's stupid, personally.
Yes. It's highly just ugh. It's just weird. Why is it so hard for people who have clout on the internet
just be good people?
Be good people, do good things.
Yeah. You got fucking Markiplier, you got Jacksepticeye, like
I know,
these
like
gamers
Markiplier's
like
the least problematic person I know, and he has the right to be problematic, and he's not.
I'm pretty sure he's like the highest viewed like gaming YouTuber. No, next to like maybe Mr. Beast, PewDiePie. Well, PewDiePie's actually stepped away from content creation right now.
Well, yes.
Because Mousie is pregnant. Woo!
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Literally 3 hours ago, PewDiePie saying bye for a while now. Maybe we should talk about that.
Wait, he posted a video 3 hours ago?
He posted the video 3 hours ago.
Oh, I heard this like a couple days ago saying that he's like stepped away from content. Maybe he made like maybe this is like an official video like talking about it.
It's like, hold on everyone, we're gonna pause the podcast for a second while we watch this 27-minute video.
Hold on, please hold. But no, yeah, he's stepping. I'm gonna watch the video and I can link it in the chat or in the description. But I know that Marsia? Yeah, that's how you're saying it, right?
Yes, I think so.
She's pregnant, I'm pretty sure. And he hasn't been doing a lot of gaming content recently. But like, I don't know. I think he's the second highest. Maybe Mr. Beast is up there just because of his like all his channels like bouncing off of each other. But like, he's one of the top gaming content creators watching, and he's the least problematic. Why can't everyone should be like Markiplier?
Be like Markiplier.
Who is also currently in the hospital as of recording. Oh, thanks, Caramel. I don't know why. But he posted a picture and he's like, you know what I got for my birthday? A hospital trip. Yeah, he had like, I don't know if it's like, I'm really wondering if it's fake. I don't, and like not fake as in like, oh, he's doing it for attention, but like fake as in like, is this like for something? Like, is this for like promo almost? You know how like Jack, like Jack had or Sean did like the series. It was called Iris.
Oh yeah.
And he did a couple like promo videos where it was like something like that. Like, I don't know. I hope he's okay. I do. I don't know what happened, but he had like his eyes were like completely pink. He had like a busted lip and like a half-shaven beard. So I don't know if he like maybe cut himself shaving and then like had like a reaction or something to, I don't know. Well, I'll link Markipliers' Twitter down below so we can get an update when this comes out. But
yeah.
Regardless, I think it's just really funny. And the last topic that we have is technically a two-parter, something that I bringing up because I've just found out about it today. So obviously the Canadian wildfires have been raging with this like heat, and all the smoke has been pouring into the States, and I think it's funny because they're like, thanks Canada, thanks for doing this, thanks for blame, and it's like, yes, this is completely something that we have control over.
Yep. It's all Canada's fault.
You're welcome. Fucking suffer. I'm just kidding. I just think it's really funny that like I'll be in a Twitch chat and they'll be like, oh my god, thanks Canada for all the smoke, and I'm just like sitting there like, you're fucking welcome. Suffer.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
But another thing that I found out was that a university not so far from me recently had a stabbing. And a gentleman walked into a gender studies class or gender ideology class, asked what they were learning, and then proceeded to stab multiple students and the professor.
Hello?
Happy Pride. Yeah, so I found that out, and I watched a TikTok, and it was someone who had covered it, and then one of the comments was, this is going to be really American of me, but someone should have had a handgun or like a something on them, like a protection piece. And the person responds to them, and I could agree completely with this, was the reason why people didn't die was because it was a stabbing and it was not a mass shooting. And if I'm allowed to walk around and carry a handgun for protection, then you can almost guarantee that the person going into a gender ideology class with ill intent who has the addition of a gun, I don't think that would have ended well. Regardless if I had one in my purse to protect myself with. What is it going to be, a shoot-off? We're going to have a fucking, a Western standoff? Like,
yeah.
No. There was no casualties, from my understanding. No one died because there was no guns.
Yes.
And if the fact that, like, every other country can, like, look at this situation and go, oh, thank goodness, like, it was just a stabbing. Like, you know, like, it's still not good. But it's the fact that, like, I don't know. It's like, whew, it was a stabbing, like, everyone's okay. It's fucked up. But, like, instead of, like, oh, yeah, like, 60 children died in a mass shooting because someone was able to walk into the fucking school with an AK-47 and shoot them up. You know?
Yes.
I will never understand, and maybe it's just because I've grown up in a country that does not have has very strict gun laws. I will never understand the need or the want to have a gun, regardless of the argument of, oh, it's for protection. It's not for protection. It's so that you can swing it around and feel big about yourself and feel good that, oh, I'm protected. No one can get me. The reason why the gun law was instated in the States was to protect land from people who were trying to steal it.
Right.
It was when the borders of the states were being created and there was a war going on over who owned what land. Why do you need it after that? The answer is you don't. But anyway, a lot of shit's going down in Canada recently, and I don't know why. It's very scary though too that it was, because normally you hear about this stuff, like coming from like, oh, like in Toronto there was a stabbing, but like this is like 30 minutes from me and like very far outside of the GTA. I don't live anywhere near Toronto. So the fact that it's like, oh yeah, in your backyard, I was like, oh great, cool, love that. Well, I have one more day of being gay, and then I'm safe. Because after Pride Month's over, the homophobes calm down a little bit. So they're not stabbing people. But anyway.
True.
We're going to move on to the Should I Be Scolded segment.
Indeed.
I've got 3, which we could probably do 2 today, maybe.
Okay.
Depending on time.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Let's see. Are they all still available? Cool. Yes, they are. So, we have... Should I be scolded for not letting my partner name our unborn child? Should I be scolded for yelling at my brother-in-law after he woke me up and told me to make dinner while we were staying at his house? And I have, should I be scolded for not wanting to play a game my girlfriend created?
Ooh. I guess. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's always some good ones you pick out every time. I guess of the 3, the one I definitely am like, yes, I want the last one. I think that's a fun one. Between the other 2, I'm indifferent, so I'd let you pick.
You want the last one?
Yeah, I want the last one for sure. I think it'd be fun to see that one. I want to know the reasoning, the girlfriend game.
Okay. All right, I can definitely do that. I'll read that one first, and then we'll decide after.
Yes.
All right, so should I be scolded for not wanting to play a game my girlfriend created? My 27 girlfriend. Wait, what? My 27. Oh, the person is 27. The girlfriend is 24. Has been working on a visual novel game as a side project for almost 2 years and recently finished it. She wanted me to play it, but I initially declined since I'm not into visual novels or reading long stories. But after she begged, I gave it a try and played it for a good 15 minutes. Now I can tell she put a lot of effort into writing and the art, and it was a good start, but I got tired of reading and stopped. She asked what I thought, and I wanted me to eventually finish it and tell her what I thought about her choices and the endings, but I told her I had no plans to. She looked shocked and asked if it was boring. I told her no. Just said it was boring. I told her no, it's just that I'm not into this type of genre, and she knows I'm not into reading, but asked me to make an exception this time since she made it. I got upset because I think she is being childish and wants to blackmail me into doing something I don't want. After I made it clear I wasn't continuing, she hasn't talked to me. I already know that she is talented and smart, so just because I don't want to play it doesn't mean I don't support her. Some of my friends agree she's being immature, but others think I should be more supportive. Should I be scolded?
Ooh. Oh. It's a toughie. I feel like on the one hand, like, I mean, this honestly has, I feel like, is a bit more, it's more easily objective to kind of say, because it really does have to do with more like personal preference.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I agree that if it's not a game style you particularly like, then yeah, it does kind of seem ridiculous for you to play through it. But I think it's one of those also things too, where if you feel like you're someone who cares a lot about this person and you want to be involved in their life, then even if it's not something you care for, you'd still go at least a bit of the extra mile to say, okay, I'm going to do this for you because I care about you enough that I would make this choice. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a mixed bag, but I can also understand why she would be disappointed if they didn't make that choice. You know, if he's choosing to not engage with that game when she's asked, I can understand why that would be frustrating.
Yeah, like she's been working on it for 2 years now, and as soon as it's done, she's like, here's something that I made. Can you look at it? And they just go, eh. It's like when you make your mom a picture, and then she's just like, okay, yeah, I'll just put it on the fridge, and then like walks away from it and like doesn't actually look at it or like I don't know. I think the person was like looking for validation and like looking for support and like reassurance and praise. And you just literally like
bunked on that.
Yeah, like I was gonna say Donowald, but like that's not
Donowald
because he didn't. He responded to her. That's not the definition, but like,
right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I don't know. The sentence that rubbed me the wrong way was, I know that she's talented and smart, so just because I don't want to play it doesn't mean I don't support her. Okay, but you not playing it and reiterating that to her is you not supporting her.
Right.
You can't be like, oh, it doesn't mean I don't support her. Yeah, that's literally what you're doing. You are not supporting her by not playing it and refusing to play it.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing of like when like for example, I see it more with like artists, but people are like, oh, I'm not gonna go to my kid's band concert because I don't like band music. It's like, well, yeah, I mean it's understandable, and certainly if you've mutually agreed upon that being something you don't have to, then yeah, that's all right that you don't go. But at the same time, like,
you're not doing it for you.
Yeah, it's like, but like if like my parents didn't like to see me in like a musical show that I was in, I would feel really disappointed because I feel like they wouldn't care to like engage in it unless I said, hey, you don't need to come to see the show. I don't mind because it's out of the way or something like that. Like when she specifically asked you to be there and you basically only engage with it as far as you feel comfortable, then
yeah, like the word supporting doesn't have the clause underneath it of only if I like the thing that I'm supporting you in.
Yeah.
Like you support the person because they like it. It's not about your comfortability level. And there's ways around it. Like you can find like maybe she can read it to you, or like I don't know if it's really that big of a deal. Like maybe you could just like sit down and be like, why don't you explain the endings to me? Why don't you show me like your process of how you did it instead?
Right.
Like instead of playing through it, because apparently you're too fucking illiterate to read a goddamn thing that your girlfriend created. Maybe you could have her explain it to you. I'm just salty with that. Like, it's too much reading. Okay, fucking Warzone brain, pew pew, shut the fuck up. Like, my bad, you don't have the attention span. Like, that's not my fucking problem. What is your verdict? Is the person an asshole?
I think,
or should be scolded. Sorry.
I guess I'd probably be inclined to think, honestly, like gently scolded. So I'd be more along the scolded side, even though I feel like it could also be a case of like both should be scolded from a different standpoint.
Oh. Why do you think your girlfriend should be scolded?
Well, I guess I can see in the sense of like he clearly feels justified, and this is one of those situations where, I guess the one thing that could be the only bad thing I could say is that like if she's not communicating with him at all, he's never going to be able to realize this is something that meant a lot to her and was a big deal. If she just shuts him out, then he's just going to feel like he's right.
Yeah.
Is I think the only thing I would say is the only critique I'd have. But again, my final verdict is I think he should be scolded. I'm just putting that out there as if I were to be broader in scheme, that'd be the other choice I would consider.
So you'd be correct. Everyone voted him the a-hole. Top comment is, or no, one of the like starred comments was, when I first started writing, sharing it was the hardest thing. It really is opening yourself up to be vulnerable. Unfortunately, some people jam their spite knife. I like that. And when you do. But in my experience, the only people rude enough to do so are faceless people on the internet. I get that some people don't want to view/read your work, and that's fine for extended family or if you already have a wider pool of people interested in your art, since you don't need the validation. And that's the key here. Fucking validation. Pour yourself out for 2 years on a project that you're insanely self-conscious about, and ask your partner, the person who is supposed to support you, to dedicate some of their time the person who is supposed to support you to dedicate some of their time to it, and they won't do it because they said they don't like reading, not even more than 15 fucking minutes? OP is the asshole here. And then another comment was, he really doesn't understand what blackmail is either.
That's funny.
That's that one. All right. Then I have for yelling at my brother-in-law after he woke me up and told me to make dinner while I was staying at his house. This one is long, but it has the reason why it's long is it has an update. And then the not letting my partner name our unborn child is shorter.
All right.
Which one do you think?
Well, I said you could pick which one you want to do.
But I already know the verdicts for them, which isn't fun.
Fine, then let's
you
go.
pick because you don't know what it's gonna be.
Oh, fine. Then let's go with the longer one with the update.
Cool. Alrighty. I, 39 female, my husband Tom, 39 male, or 37 male, so 2 years younger, and 2 sons, 12, I guess they're both 12 male, were recently in a house fire and lost our home, but luckily we are all out of the house when this happened. Tom's brother, Sean, 40 male, and his wife agreed to let us stay at his place with their kids while we sort out insurance. I don't like Sean as he believes in traditional gender roles in a household, and we have issues since he realized I would keep my maiden name at work, which I informed him was none of his business and my personal choice. He works full-time and his wife is a housewife. When we had our sons, Sean thought I would quit my job as a doctor to become a stay-at-home mom. However, Tom became a stay-at-home dad instead, and then went back to work after our sons went to school and doesn't share the same thought process as Sean. Sean clearly disapproves of this and me and vocalizes his thoughts about the situation. I got Tom to speak to Sean. First of all, you should never have to make your partner stand up for you. They should just fucking stand up for you. So, I don't know. Tom's on thin ice with me right now.
Yeah, Tom, get your act together.
Yeah, Tom. I got Tom to speak up to Sean, and he has left us alone since, but occasionally used to make comments at holidays and birthdays, which I would just ignore. They stopped when Tom returned to work, and since then, Tom said Sean has grown as a person. Tom and Sean are very close, and I would never tell him to stop talking to him, but I personally interact as least as possible with Sean. My son's school and Tom's workplace is walking distance from Sean's house, which is why I agreed to stay and suck it up while we get back on our feet, as it's temporary. Yesterday was a very hectic day, and I was exhausted. My shift ended midday, and I went straight to bed. Everyone was at the house. Sean and Tom went to work. The kids were at school, and Sean's wife went to see a friend. Also, I think I said that wrong. Everyone was out of the house. No, was in the house. It's what I think I said. Sean got home first and woke me up. I was upset and still tired. And when I asked him why, he said I should make a start on dinner as it was getting late and his wife was out and not picking up her phone. Usually I do the cooking in the house and with his wife, but I was upset that Sean had woken me up and yelled at him to not disturb me. I kicked him out of the room and told him I was going back to sleep and he could sort out his own dinner. When I woke up that evening, Sean told me that while I was under his house, I needed to respect his house rules. I'm sorry, aren't you guys like 2 years apart? Easy there. They're not your kid. I told him he could have cooked himself, heated leftovers in the fridge, or got a takeaway. Tom thinks that Sean did overstep by waking me up and making demands, but I shouldn't have yelled and escalated the situation. I will read the update after you decide your thoughts.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, I think, especially in a situation of not being a child for someone, house rules are stupid when not conveyed in a proper way. Because it doesn't even seem like there's an expectation of this is what you do. Like, it was just something that she was doing because she could. It didn't seem like it was ever this implication of like, this is what she has to do. Be part of this household. So the fact that he reacted suddenly and said, "You're in my house. This is what I expect of you," like, that's messed up. Like, even if it's like my friend's house or something like that. Like, if I was like a guest sleeping over at like my best friend, for example, his house, because I know his family very well. Like, I usually don't like have anything that I necessarily do when I'm there. Like, but like if I sleep over, like I make sure like I clean up after myself. I like take care of business if needed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like that's it. I mean, if I was there for a longer period of time, I'm sure I'd have more of like expected house rules in that case. But it doesn't seem like again like this was something that was like previously established that like this was a duty that had to be done. Um, and so like I think for me, it just again very clearly feels like it's like this is a him issue and not a her issue because
Oh, 100%.
yeah, like no doubt about it, he's the one who should be like it's a weird level of like I guess it's more I don't think she should have been scolded for it. Does he need to be scolded? I don't necessarily think in the way of like it is his house. Yes, I think he approached it in
Mm-hmm.
a bad way,
Mm-hmm.
but I also don't think he's in the wrong for how he approached the situation, but not necessarily for, with his house, if that's what the agreement he's made with his wife, and that's how they live their life at the house, that's decided between them mutually. That's something that I don't
Yeah.
have a right to like speak into.
And just because she helps with dinner doesn't mean that she is the person who has to make it every night.
Correct.
Like just because she is the woman of the house or woman in the house at the moment does not mean, oh, you're the default cooker. Like,
Right.
that's not, it doesn't just like your wife leaves and I like pick up that role. Like you're a grown ass.
I am
fucking
wife
man.
now.
You're older than all of us. Like you get your fucking shit together.
Right.
Well, the verdict is that they are not the asshole. And it's not that it's the original poster is not the asshole. And not no one is there in the wrong. It's that the OP is the only person not in the wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't think that they think that like he is a dick. One comment says definitely not, but when classifying stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad as a job, more often than not, its job duties would include domestic labor like cooking. You'd still expect the adult who works outside the house to address the stay-at-home parent with appreciation and respect, but methinks believing in traditional gender roles, quote unquote, is a euphemism for misogynist. Believing in traditional gender roles has always been a euphemism for misogynist is a different comment. But the update is I didn't expect so many responses and have read quite a few. I spoke to a friend who said we are welcome at hers. I told my husband I was leaving with the kids and he was welcome to join me or stay at Sean's. My brother-in-law didn't tell my husband the whole story and said I just flat out refused to cook and then yelled at him out of tiredness. When one of the conditions on us staying was that we would cook and help out around the house. I was upset that my husband believed Sean and he didn't have the full story. In our culture, we place a big emphasis on respecting elders, and I know I feel uncomfortable opposing elder relatives on my side of the family, so I get why my husband does struggle. I guess because his brother's older. This experience has made me put down my foot, though, and I have told my husband I don't want our sons anywhere near him. I think that this has also been an eye-opener for my husband, and he has agreed to move out with me, although my brother-in-law asked him to stay. When we get our place sorted, only sister-in-law and my kids' cousins will be allowed over. My sister-in-law has called to apologize for brother-in-law's behavior. And I have not heard from him at all. He was silent to me and only talked to my husband and the kids. I agreed to move in with brother-in-law as I believed he had changed in his beliefs and it had been a few years since our last fight, but apparently not. Also, the house belongs to my husband's late parents and he owns half of it. With our insurance, they have finally ruled the fire as a faulty electrical in our kitchen, so we will have a place of our own by Friday. Thank you everyone for the support in the comments. So, yeah. Fuck the brother-in-law. Again, I didn't like Tom from the beginning, all right? Tom was walking on things. Tom. So the fact that he didn't believe his wife or like get the full story from both sides also kind of not necessarily a red flag, but definitely an orange flag. That you just like instantly believed your brother over your wife. Right. I don't know. The situation seems too simple. Like, yeah, I just went to go wake her up and she yelled at me, and it's like, no, you were like, get in the fucking kitchen, bitch. And then got mad when she corrected
Said
you.
I'm going back to bed.
Yeah. Idiot. Anyway. That's our Should There Be Scolded segment. Let us know down in the comments your thoughts and opinions on the ones that we talked about today. They will also be linked down below, so you can go and read the comments on the Reddit threads if you would like. We have some questions.
We do that you guys have asked us.
Yeah. One of them is from the Live Ask link. And this one, I'm not great at improv, but I think that we should still ask it, or I should still ask it. And I should give context. Live Ask is a place where you guys can ask us anonymous questions, so you don't have to have your name tied to them. So if you want advice or anything like that, and you want to keep anonymous, you can submit them there. The link is in the description.
Yes.
The first question is, can you describe your favorite game or character in the worst way possible and have the other person try to guess? I think that's it's a fun game, but like, I don't know how to improv it where like you won't get it right away.
Well, the point is you have to do it in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess here, I already know how I can answer this question because I think about things like this a lot. Well, not in this way, but you know what I mean, like, of like understanding. And I also see a lot of like Twitter things like this where like people have asked this before and described what they say in the past.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, it's entertaining. But let's see. So let's say worst way possible. Boy or girl chooses to go on good side after being bad boy or girl, experiences existential crisis, travels around a lot in a vehicle, and uses special abilities to defeat a former friend.
In a vehicle?
Probably more way specific than I need it to be, but
What was the last part of your sentence? They drive around in a vehicle to...
They drive around in a vehicle, exploring around, and I guess it wasn't the same exact thing, but at the end of their journey, they use special powers to defeat a former friend.
Former friend.
Or something like that. I think that's what I said. I can't remember. Very clearly, I'm very good at this because I remember exactly what I said.
I have no idea. Jesus Christ. Because my first thought was Genshin, but then I was like, well, we don't know how Genshin ends.
Right.
I'm trying to remember if you've ever mentioned... You've definitely mentioned your favorite game before, and I'm just not remembering. Is it actually your favorite game, or is this just a game?
It's one of my favorite games. I think that's definitely accurate. If someone asked me my favorite game, this would definitely be one of the ones I would have said some point in time.
I don't know the name of it, but is it Star Wars?
I mean, you're dramatically right.
Lego Star Wars?
Return of the Jedi. It would be Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, though. And the idea is, if I'm giving you a proper plot of the story, no spoilers, but it's the story of a Jedi who falls to the dark side with his apprentice, and then he gets basically a second chance to redeem himself, because of this life connection he forms with another character. And the whole story is him going around exploring the galaxy, finding these star maps to locate this evil, like, secret forge area, where then he has to use his force abilities to then defeat his former apprentice, who has now become the evil master.
So it's like a redemption
so that'd be
story.
so that'd be a more accurate interpretation of it. I just did what the prompt said, which is to explain it very badly in the worst way possible. Okay, just know the second if I hear any word zombie out of your name, I already gonna know what the game is.
So I can't do that one then.
You can sometimes get like crafty with like words too. You could be like the first of 10 or something, or first of me, and I'd be like, huh? And I'd be like, oh.
Just the name title, just like fucked up.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm trying to think of
There's lots of possibilities.
I can't fucking do that game anymore, so like,
I know all your favorite games. What are you gonna do, huh?
God, I don't even like know. I'm gonna look at Steam. Pull up Steam
like,
really
what obscure
quickly.
title can I find?
Well, no, I want to do what you did. I want to describe it, but like I gotta pick a game to describe.
Yes, I understand. That's why I chose a game that was like, okay, I can think of this one pretty quickly because I know this one very well.
Yeah. All right. So in this game, you go to this world and you get like crazy I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You get help from all these different people who are trying to accomplish the same thing as you, but you're just doing it better than them. Because you're the PC, obviously. And you have this thing that collects items and collects the things that make the items, and then you craft with those items and sell the items, and you, in doing so, as you collect them, you find out secrets about the world that you're in.
Ooh.
And there was someone that was there on the world before you, and you find their diary.
Okay. I know what game it is now.
Okay.
And it's deciding between two. Is either that more obscure, like, techno-ish game that you're playing, where like you're like in the forest with those resources and stuff, and I was like, ooh, it could be that one. But no, this one feels very
the one on
to me like...
Oh, never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
No, you're saying, but yeah, I'm predicting Slime Rancher though, based on that.
Yeah, it is. Were you talking about Cozy Grove?
Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was that last thing that gave it to you? The diary thing?
Yeah, once you mentioned that, I was like, because first I was like, if you spent the whole like, wait, people are doing the same thing as you, but you're doing it better. I was like,
yeah,
huh? And then like collecting items only to sell them. And I was like, what game do you collect items only to sell them?
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then once you mentioned the diary, I was like, oh,
I tried so hard not to use like the word collecting or farming or like gadget, because I was like, that's gonna fucking give it away.
Yes. No, but that's good though. That's exactly the concept though.
Yeah. Yay.
Well done. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, look at that. We know each other's favorite games, or at least some of our favorite games. Both Mousie and I have a hard time that we probably both have multiple favorite games.
We do, and I have a really shitty fucking memory that I don't remember a lot of things. So, but Kano, it's your turn. Pick a question.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll pick a question. Ooh. Let's say this. Oh, well, I guess I'll answer this one because I think it's funny. You know how our elders used to live without cell phones?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'd be able to live if you chucked your cell phone away right now? Like if you literally tossed it out your window?
Just my cell phone?
Would you live?
just my phone, not my computer?
No, it says cell phone.
Okay,
Never your cell phone away. Would you be able to live?
I think I would. I think the biggest struggle of like phones is communication and navigation. I think those are the biggest things. But there are items and ways that people lived without those things. Like, I don't need my phone for an alarm because I can buy a fucking alarm clock.
Correct.
I don't, I could, I mean, navigation, not really. I could buy a GPS, but like
a map.
I could have a map. I don't know if we want to go that primitive.
That's also the very distinct choice. Like, that's a very obvious choice you could make right now for navigation. You could just get a map.
A map or a GPS or like, I don't know, my stepdad. He just knows how to get everywhere. You could literally ask him, be like, how do you get to this place? And he'd be like, do you have a landmark? And I'd be like, yeah, this landmark. He'd be like, oh, so you take this and you go here, blah, blah, blah. Like, he just knows how to fucking get places. It's insane. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what I use my phone for, and I really just use my phone for social media and texting and like and photos. But like, again, I could have a camera. I have other ways to contact people, especially if I'm able to use my computer. I can buy an alarm clock. I can buy a GPS. I can just physically write notes instead of typing them.
Right.
I don't know, just like stuff like that. I don't know. I'm looking at my phone right now and I'm like, is there anything else on here that I absolutely would need? Maybe my like security cameras, having access to those, but I might be able to just bring it up on the website. Like, I could bring it up on like, I could maybe bring it up on my computer.
Yeah.
And then music, but yeah, just
interesting
on my computer. There's nothing else that I really use my phone for, despite the plethora of fucking apps that I have on here. But what about you?
Yeah, I definitely could live without it for sure. Like, no problem. But I think I would really miss the photos and the ability to take videos and photos on my camera, because that's most of the time like what I've grown. Like, even when I had a dinky phone that couldn't do much, I still took all the videos and recorded lots of things because
you can buy a camera. Like, you can get like a little video recorder.
Yeah, I mean, I have cameras I can use if I want to instead. Like, that wouldn't be an issue.
That would be the biggest change, is what you're saying, though. Like,
yes, exactly. The accessibility of it would be most annoying. And also, like, for me, like, I use my phone to kind of communicate with like people in my IRL spaces. So like all of my like church friends or like my parents and sister, like I talk with them through my phone, not through apps as much. I use like texting. And so like that'd be the hardest part, is like having to develop different ways to communicate with them. But there are other ways. Like, we could I could use Facebook Messenger on my computer if I really needed to reach out to other people. So like I'd be able to live without it and could function. It would just require more effort. And
yeah, like,
I'm a
I think
weirdo and I'm not opposed to it.
That I text is my mom. Like my immediate family, and like Matt and I play games. So like we can do that, and my grandfather, actually, because my grandfather, like, calling him without a phone, I wouldn't be able to call him, and he doesn't use social media or Facebook Messenger or anything like that. Like, I'd have to get like a landline. Which, with my internet, might be cheaper. You can get a bundle deal.
Yeah.
But
good.
Anyway.
Extra fancy.
All right. Last question, which is going to be, and I don't even know how to fucking answer this question. I'm just gonna. How many times has your character died in a series, if at all?
Ooh.
They didn't specify the series, so I don't know if we're getting the total number in all series. But I know it's probably at least high double digits for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can jokingly say that, at least for content purposes, like thinking about like just playing friend alone. How many
Mm-hmm.
times have I died in a YouTube video? Many times.
Yeah.
In terms of roleplay series, I've probably had, yeah, it'd be double digits for me too. So I'm like, even thinking about like Eden, it's like how many characters I
Yeah.
have died that related to my character? Like 3 at
Mm-hmm.
minimum. And that's not including the Minecraft related deaths. Like,
Yeah. I'm thinking all the way back to when I started. Like, because I started out, the bigger role that I had was a reoccurring character in a Yandere series. And I think in that series alone, I think she died at least like 2 or 3 times. Especially like in the role play, I think she died at least once. And then in the mini games. And then Eden, I am very clumsy and never had a good armor ever, so I was constantly dying. I might even go as high to say like 90s, almost 100. Because also like I played Tina, and like if you're including mini games and that type of roleplay content, like she'd fucking die like every episode if we played mini games multiple times. So I'm gonna guesstimate. I'm gonna go with the number. I don't know. 102 is really screaming out to me.
102 times.
102 times over the course of. When did I start? 2018, really. So over the course of 5 years, and like 10 plus series, I would say 100 times. 102 times. What about you?
It's like 102 times feels like a lot, but it also feels like not enough for me.
Yeah, right?
Like, it's like weird like category of like I feel like mine would be. Well, I guess my original estimate, if I'm thinking like realistic roleplay stuff, would be somewhere like in the 20s, maybe. But like looking at like just normal deaths and content wise, series wise, I would. I mean, well,
I probably agree with you.
because
Like
that's still like a difference though is like 2100. No, I don't know
No.
if
Like
it's that
the I meant like a ratio 20-100, 20 over 100.
Oh yeah.
It's like serious role play, like acting role plays. Like 20, and then like mini game content that's like based off the characters and stuff like that is in the hundreds.
Yes.
Early hundreds.
Yeah, I think it's more general, but it's I think pretty accurate. It's about that sort of same level between both.
Nice.
I couldn't side with you.
Well, thank you guys for submitting questions. We appreciate all of your questions. We might need some more, so leave some comments down below on what.
Yeah, otherwise we might have to start thinking about our own questions.
I know, crazy. We might have to do that like 100 plus couples quiz.
Couples quiz.
And just ask like a whole bunch of questions and be like, oh, what was a pivotal point in your childhood or something like that, like
yes,
in-depth questions or whatever. But if you guys have any questions for us, please do leave them in the comments. You can tweet them. You can leave them in our Q&A chats within our Discords, which are also linked down below. And also let us know your thoughts on the Should I Be Scolded and the other things that we talked about today. Let us know your opinion on groomers.
Yes, groomers and other things, or there's a lot.
Yeah. But I'm going to hand the reins off to Kano for the game.
Yeah. Oh, I'm actually excited for this because while we were thinking,
oh my god,
I was trying to think of like what kinds of things to do. And the nice thing is we don't have to get through all of them today. But I was like, okay, what's a different game we can play that feels a bit more universally applicable? And I was like, Genshin games are fun, but there's a certain someone that we know who loves Genshin so much. I think he wants to ensure that everyone else gets a chance to play something else. So today we're doing what is, I will admit, AI generated because I have access to Chat GPT. And so I was like, why not? But we're going to play AI generated Mad Libs, Dungeons and Dragons edition. and I think it's pretty cool. I was like, maybe this will work, maybe it won't, but it did. And so we're gonna play. I have 3 prompts that you can choose from. I think we'll just do one today, but we can save the others for later weeks, and I think it'll be kind of fun. And if you guys want to play along, you guys can think of your own words. Mousie has access to the prompts, so she can include them with whatever. If you wish to be able to see it and play it yourself, you can use that. This is generated by an AI, so it's in some ways a bit accessible, and it pulls information from other people's creations. And I think in this case, it's words, so it's not like I'm plagiarizing things. That would be terribly interesting, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, so we've got 3 prompts that you can choose from, and we'll go through them as we see fit. We've got confession interrupted, pretentious patron, or adventure scenario. Which of these 3 prompts would you like to do today?
Ooh. So I'm scrolling through them, an adventure scenario, and I see artificer in there. And I'm wondering if it's based off a certain something. I don't know. Pretentious patron. I'm gonna go with the patron one.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I just want to say this beforehand. This might take us a hot minute because I am so stupid when it comes to adjective, nouns, and verbs. So you might need to help me a little bit on. I might say a word and you'll be like, "That's not a noun," or "That's not an adjective."
Yeah, that's fine. That's something we can work with. That's not a problem.
Cool.
All right. Then let's do this. Okay, so first of all, I'll just read out exactly what things we need to do, and Mousie will answer them. So, all right, we need a adjective.
So
it's a description word.
Colorful.
Yep, that's a word. That's an adjective. Good job. All right.
Thanks.
City name. Fictional or otherwise.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a fictional one. Let's go with actually no, let's go with a real one. Let's go with city name. St. Catherine's.
Okay. All right, St. Catherine's. Adventuring group name.
Oh, come on. I can't even make them for my normal D&D groups.
Then just pick something fun. Just do something random.
I'm going to pick Critical Role name.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go with Bell's Hells.
Okay. All right, cool. Then all right. We got another adjective.
Descriptive word. Descriptive word is like you're doing something or no? No, those are verbs.
No, it's those are verbs. Yes, adjectives are like chartreuse or plain or folded.
Okay.
Or
I'm gonna do
plaid.
Pretty.
Okay, cool, works. Right. Noble's name or a name for a noble.
Lord von Dachshund. I don't know.
Oh,
Lord...
yeah.
I don't know how you fucking pronounce it.
I know you're.
Dachshund, Dachshund. However you fucking pronounce it.
Okay, all right. Adjective.
Crazy.
Yeah, works. Adjective.
Green.
Okay. Occupation.
Stripper.
Adjective.
Shit.
I'm not saying that word. That's more of a noun.
Pale?
Yeah, pale's a good one. Okay. Abstract noun. So this is like a noun that's like an idea or something, like something that's more like justice or
Oh.
or like a word that's like kind of like it's abstract in concept. It's not like a physical thing you can touch. It's like a something else.
Oh. Justice as the example. Confident. Is that the one? No, probably not.
It'd be difficult to say. Confident would be more like a adjective.
Hold on. What was it? What was the one you're looking for? Abstract?
Abstract noun.
Abstract nouns. Curiosity.
Okay. I like it. All right. Adjective.
Soft.
Okay. Adjective.
Fluff or no. Sharp.
Okay. Adjective.
God damn it.
Most of these ad-libs involve adjectives, unfortunately.
Is motion? Would that be one?
Motion's a noun.
Okay. Really? Person, place, or thing?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're doing it.
Is a thing.
Oh. Would electric?
Yeah.
Okay.
Room.
A room?
Yep, a type of room.
Do you mean like a library or like a bedroom?
It could be anything. It's a room. Just a room.
Let's do a museum.
Okay. Yeah, it works. All right. Let's see. Okay, that's that there. What's a color?
What is color?
You know what I mean.
I know. Magenta.
Okay, and then another color.
Ow! Caramel just bit me. Let's go with sage.
Ooh, okay. All right, another adjective.
Shiny.
Okay. Type of drink.
Fireball.
An exclamation. So like kind of like an interjection, basically.
Huzzah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Then another adjective.
Squishy.
Okay.
Or
All
just
right,
squish. Or just squish.
Squishy would be the right one. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
squish.
it's a noun.
Person, place, or thing. Running. Is that a thing?
That would be
an action word.
Runner would be a noun. Running is a verb.
Okay, I'll do running or runner.
Okay. Adjective.
Reflective.
Another adjective.
Metal.
Yeah, or metallic, I guess would probably
Metallic,
be better.
yeah, sure.
Location. Any location.
I really should start just going with the first things that come into my head.
Okay.
Let's go with the astral plane.
Okay. Artifact name.
Artifact name. Let's go with Fenthras.
Okay. All right. Adjective.
Thorny.
Thorny. Large number.
6,487.
Okay. Right. Then a type of currency.
Mora.
All right. Adjective.
Gold.
Or golden.
Golden.
Put in, yeah. We'll see. I'll see when we get there. Noun.
Let's go with. I want to do people, but I'm trying to remember what their name is. Oh, Cerberus Assembly.
Okay. All right. Character name.
Get a generator up. Hold on. For this exact moment.
You're like, I'm ready.
I'm ready. Go to random generator.
You also do that, or you could also take a name from the group of the party that you had mentioned before.
Yeah. Could. But I'm gonna go with Muffin instead.
Muffin?
Yeah.
Right. Then a class from Dungeons and Dragons.
Caramel, fuck off. Keeps hitting my mic. You're ruining the audio quality. Class from Dungeons and Dragons.
You.
Let's go with Bard.
Okay. Plural noun.
I don't know what that, like, multiple things?
Yes. Multiple persons, places, or things.
Oh, then maybe Cerberus Assembly would be a plural noun because
Cerberus Assembly is a singular noun because it's referring to a single assembly. It has multiple people in it, but it's like a party is a single noun, whereas the people of the party are plural.
Okay. Stop it, Caramel, fuck off. Or places would be another plural noun.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you can just say places, literally.
Oh.
If you want.
No, I'm gonna say comedy shows.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. Because I said bar.
Right. Adjective.
Funny?
Plural noun again?
God damn it. Libraries.
I thought you could escape. Ooh, okay. And then an adjective.
Quiet?
Plural noun.
Temple.
Okay, so temples. Emotion.
Angry.
Okay, so anger, and then another emotion.
Embarrassment. Or embarrassed.
Okay. It'd be embarrassment, yeah. All right, okay, those are all our words. Are you ready to see what you've created?
Yes.
In the story of the pretentious patron.
I have. I'm ready.
All right. What kind of voice should I read this in? Give me a tone you want me to read this in.
So, well, if the story is it read from third person? Because then a narrator voice. But if it's read from first person, then I want you to be the pretentious patron.
Oh, it's a narrator voice, so
okay.
I can do that. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. In the colorful city of St. Catherine's, the Bells Hills found themselves standing before the pretty manor of Lord Von Dashen. They had been summoned by this crazy member of the city's green elite, a renowned stripper known for their pale taste and curiosity. As they entered the soft foyer, they were greeted by a sharp servant who led them to an electric museum. There they found Lord Von Dashen, waiting dressed in magenta and sage finery, and
Ooh.
sipping from a shiny fireball. Huzzah! Lord Von Dashen greeted them with a squishy smile. The bells hells in my own runner. What an honor. I've heard much about your reflective deeds.
Hmm.
They went on to describe the task at hand. In the depths of the metallic astral plane, there lies the Fenthras, a relic of thorny power. I'm willing to offer you a reward of 6,487 mora and a golden Cerberus assembly should you retrieve it for me.
Oh, the whole
Muffin,
assembly.
our bard, asked cautiously, and what kind of comedy shows might he face? Oh, just a few funny libraries, Lord Von Dashen replied with a dismissive wave. Nothing the bells hells can't handle, I'm sure. With a quiet glance amongst themselves, the party accepted the quest, their temples filled with a mixture of anger and embarrassment. And there you go. The story of the pretentious patron.
Wow. Yay.
Look at that. It all sort of made sense for the most part.
I tried to keep track of like the words that I was saying instead of random ones.
Yes.
But I know you're probably supposed to say random ones and that'll make it better.
It can be either way. I think it was quite fun. It was a cute little story.
Hey.
Nice.
Hell yeah. I'll put I'll take like a screenshot of the story without the inserts, like what you have here in the doc, and I'll put that up on the screen and then people can like make their own.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah.
If you guys like it, let me know. If you hate it, then we'll probably do it again next week, so too bad.
Yeah, wrecked. Well, anyways, that's all we have for the podcast today. Thank you, Kano, for making that game. Well, quote unquote,
of course,
making
thanks,
it.
ChatGPT. Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Thank me for having the idea. You're welcome.
Yeah. But again, let us know any of your thoughts on the things that we've talked about today. You can feel to answer the questions, ask us more questions, and let us know what you thought of the game. And if you made your own, please do share it with us. We would love to read them. But that is where we conclude. Kano, do you have any final words for the people?
I guess I would say that y'all are awesome, and we are now in July, and
crazy.
It's quite nice. I'm glad we're in July.
My birthday's coming.
Good time to be alive. It's true. It is.
And my mom's.
Be 1 year older.
And Gabe's.
One day. Gabe's birthday. Who
Yeah.
cares about Gabe's birthday?
He's gonna message you now, even though he doesn't want to message us.
I know, right? Because we told him off early. He probably forgot about it, honestly. At this point, no, we just reminded him that he doesn't want to message us. But we've reminded him that he doesn't want to. You're welcome, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe. Anyway, we're gonna go. We love you very much. Be good people, do good things, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.